reconvene from executive session. Next item on our agenda this morning or this afternoon is a discussion of any proposed amendments to the city charter as recommended by Lubbock citizens. You know, we heard a lot of comments last week about a lot of different things. And so to kind of prioritize, we've got a couple of things that I'd like to see us, you know, remember, all we're doing is recommending things to city council to take under advisement, to then vote on, and then send to the city for, to vote on to the citizens for an election. So we've got a couple of things. We've got Article 4 was mentioned, and that is the initiative on referendum and recall, getting things on the ballot. We've got a special election we're in early voting right now. The process of getting things on the ballot and just for the citizens to vote on, and then officers that are subject to recall. That's one. Second one is section 14 of Article 9, compensation and attendance. We had a lot of discussion on that at the last meeting and the last two public hearings. And then Article 9, section 16, ordinance enactment, readings required, subject of, you know, reading those ordinances and things that come before the city council to vote twice. And then kind of the fourth one I have is kind of the broad cleanup section of things that are, you know, in violation of state law, things that are no longer relevant to the city charter. The biggest example, obviously, is the auditorium and Coliseum. So those are the kind of the four big buckets I see us kind of really getting on and digging in deep a little bit as we move forward. Does anybody have any others that you want to kind of add to this? We could always do some subtopics in terms of what we'd like to see, but I'll open it up for discussion if anybody wants to comment or have any other additions.
You know, Mr. Chair, if memory serves, we had a gender-neutral language
Thank you.
addition that we were going to look at.
Ms. Gibson brought that up.
Yeah.
Karen, where would you want to add that as a fifth item, or is there somewhere you want to put that? Would that be under initiatives possibly?
Yeah, we can put that wherever.
Wherever we want to.
Yeah, we can put that wherever and
Maybe-
kind of see where we're at. I mean,
Okay.
that's not a must-have. That's a wish list thing. Because, I mean, we're working under it now. But
I know.
let's see where we're
It
at.
could come in the
because
cleanup section if we could maybe do it there.
if we can put it under the cleanup, that would be awesome.
There is a way to combine that with the cleanup, not only do typographical errors and things like that, but also include in there, use gender neutral language. I've seen that in other cities.
If we
on the
can do it
ballots.
that way, that's perfect.
That
Yeah.
way we don't add another.
Yeah.
That was going to be my comment is, could it go into that cleanup area? I mean,
would-
it sounds like it fits to me, but I mean,
Okay. Let's
I'll
work,
just
let's kind
say
of
it,
work
dude.
towards that and see if we can get that
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
accomplished. Jimmy, is that good with you? Yes, sir. Mike?
Yeah, go over that list again. You said the cleanup stuff, the compensation. What was the third one?
Ordinance, what is that? Article 9, section
Is that one of the red?
16, one of the red ones.
Okay.
Article 9, section 14, that's compensation. That's probably the big one. And then just kind of the general, you know, commas and,
Right.
You
So
know-
that was three. So cleanup, compensation, ordinances.
initiatives, compensation, ordinances, cleanup. those
Oh,
four.
initiatives. Okay. That was
Yeah.
the
Initiatives, getting
the-
things on,
referendum and stuff.
Referendums, right.
Sorry.
right.
That was the one I was missing. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
On the ordinances, are we talking about just publishing them twice, or are we talking about taking out 2 readings? Because I'm going to have an issue.
The proposals to go from 2 reads to 1 read.
I got an issue.
Okay, I mean, I don't have an opinion either way, so I don't
Okay.
know that we've even really got that far to really talk about.
I don't know that we've talked about it at all,
No.
but I'm just going to tell you right now, if we're going from 2 readings to 1 on an ordinance, I'm going to have a huge issue with that. So when we get to that, then we can talk about that.
I've got to agree with you. So much public comment comes after the first reading. They go, wait, what? You're thinking of doing what? that second reading is vital. So I agree with you.
But now it's this, you read it twice for everything. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes.
Are you guys open to looking at for more consent items to do one, or do you want to really keep it as two for everything?
Well, your ordinances, now resolutions are just one reading,
Okay.
but ordinances are two readings. And a lot of times those are going to require two readings because many times I would have constituents either call, email, or have meetings with me after the first reading on whatever it was, needing clarification, needing,
Okay.
having questions, whatever. And I think that 2 weeks in between those readings is crucial. Now, on some of them, maybe it's not, but you can't pick and choose. I think that two readings is crucial for an ordinance.
And it seems like so many tweaks happen during those 2 weeks. A slight adjustment to make it better for everybody.
Well, and a
So-
lot of times it does, and it
Yeah.
may just be 1 or 2 words, it may just be 1 or 2 little whatever, and it may be that a developer needs to talk to people around or to clarify something. I feel very, very strongly about that.
Okay, good information. We'll have time to really dive into that with some more information maybe.
Amy asked us to read the charter, so just to prove to her that I did. Article 5, Section 1 says, shall be the duty of the governing authorities at the first regular meeting in March of each year to levy ad valorem taxes, occupational taxes as necessary to cover the expenses.
That has
That's not our
been-
budget year.
That has been superseded by state law. That's an example of where the state law doesn't conform to what our charter says, because back in 1917, it would have been okay to do that in March, but state law has changed so that the procedure of when this has to be done has been greatly changed.
So you were just bringing that up as another
Well-
example of
Well, I'm just
state
saying,
law.
well, one, it's not one of those things that's highlighted that we might consider changing. So if we're going to change those kind of things,
That's an
I mean-
example of what would be changed.
yeah, so let's add that section in there to get that.
Well, but that would be changed if we go up and do the cleanup section that are not
Yeah,
applicable to state
yeah.
law, that it
Right.
covers that. That's where it gets
It
covered.
is.
Okay.
But Mr. Chairman, I really like to see us on those cleanup type things to, to get that on our agenda and get that passed, whatever that so that's out of the way. Cause I mean, that's a bulk of it's the
we are
volume
in-
here. It's not the most interesting, but it's the volume.
It is a huge volume. We've been working on it. Because of the volume, that's the reason why we don't want to rush it too much.
Right.
But it will be going before y'all. But anytime you see something that is not in comport with state law, for example, one of the problems with the initiative process is that it has call out as to when the election's supposed to happen. That has been superseded. There's no way to have an election within 20 days. State law doesn't allow it, and with the way the numbers that we're dealing with, there's no way physically to have that done. So that's a good example of things that have been superseded by state law. We're going through the charter and looking at not only state law references, typographical problems. There's a lot of typographical problems throughout it, grammar problems, things like that, and we plan to bring that to you. But we want to ensure since if this goes before the voters and it's passed, it's something we're going to have to live with for 2 years. So we want to make sure that we bring forward
Sure.
a good product.
You got to live for it more than 2.
Well,
least
we'd have to
two.
wa- We'd have to wait for another election for 2 years.
So obviously we're not going to have that Monday, but maybe mid-May, you think? Would that be a fair?
That sounds like a
mean, we don't-
fair statement.
Again, Mike's right. It's a cleanup item. But it's more voluminous than it's more of a consent agenda almost, but we'll discuss it. So we don't have to have that anytime soon, but I'd like to have it maybe mid to late May. So we've got these other, the initiative section, compensation, the ordinance reading. How do you want to put these on the agenda? Do you want to take them meeting by meeting and then we can kind of let the public know, hey, we're going to be discussing the initiative section at a particular date. We go to closed session, get our legal questions answered, and come out here for deliberation. Does that work for you?
That might be best. That way the public at least knows what we're talking about that day.
Mhm.
Might be easier for us too, to
Well,
be able to have
Prepare,
questions
get our
ready.
questions ready. I think we've got enough time if we kind of keep our scope to these kind of main areas. And we can go as deep as we want to on some. The cleanup section obviously won't, that'll just be a lot of reading, I think, on our part. We can discuss the ordinance, issue, compensation initiatives.
I'm good with that.
If we decide to do that, I would propose we tackle Article 4 first.
Okay.
That would be the one we're currently.
Well, I didn't hear.
Article
Yeah,
4.
Article 4.
Okay.
The
Initiatives,
referendums.
referendums, and recalls.
Okay.
It's Article 4, the
The one-
initiatives,
yeah,
referendums.
So we'll have that on the agenda for Monday. Does that give city staff enough time to get any materials we need?
I think that that would work for the legal department. and-
What I'd like to
and
see, Becky, is just some best practice language in other city charters that really kind of pull from and just what you guys would think would be best practice. We can deliberate it. We've got our resident expert to help us with that on the dais, and we can kind of deliberate that in chambers in terms of any legal questions we have with what we see. Come out here and discuss and debate it, and maybe get some consensus on Article 4, and then we can move on. That's kind of how I'd like to do it in a perfect world. Okay, and then we can then go into other meeting dates later on in the meeting. We can kind of cover when we want to get together, and then maybe on Monday decide what other topic is next on the list. And then the heavyweight will be compensation. So we'll figure out when we want to do that. That work? Okay.
You
Any
don't want
other-
to do that? You don't want to do that Monday too?
Good. I've got a pretty full schedule Monday afternoon, so I'll need some time to kind of clear my calendar on that one. Okay, so regular session 3.2 is discussing of any proposed amendments. We've kind of run through that. Any other comment on anything related to the charter in terms of proposed amendments? Anything we heard from citizen comments, anybody want to comment on? Last call. Jimmy, you good? Mike? Bill?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about future meeting dates. Our next meeting is going to be Monday, April 26th. And I believe, Courtney, we're going to be upstairs possibly.
That's correct. Second floor, there's a huge conference room. It'll be 201A and B. And there, we'll set out some chairs for any citizens that do show
Okay,
up.
201 A and B. I'm sure we'll have somebody helping us at the elevator for those of us that are directionally challenged.
Correct.
11 o'clock, lunch will be served. We'll go in at 11:30. Try to plan maybe until, if you could stretch it to 1:30, that'd be nice. Give us some flexibility if we want to get into some meated discussion. I'd like to kind of put Article 2 behind us Monday afternoon and go on to other things if we can. We may not be able to, but that's what I'd like to do. And then the following week will be the first week of May. We've got it pegged for Cinco de Mayo, May the 5th. Does that work for everyone, or we kind of pegged Wednesday?
Works for me.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we'll do that one. We've kind of got May 12th as the next one on the agenda. That's the following Wednesday.
I won't be here.
No? Okay. Well, then let's just hold on the week of the 10th, and let's try to come to the meeting on Monday with some dates that work for you on the week of the 10th of May.
I can do any other day but that day.
Okay. Shannon's not here, so let's just suspend, try to get something scheduled for the 10th, and we'll do that on the 26th of April. I'm fairly flexible on that day.
I would just mention that May 11th will be a city council meeting.
Okay.
So that date would be off the table for us.
They're
The
more
12th and the
important than we are.
13th? No?
The 13th would be open. It looked like we have a tentative special city council meeting for that evening.
And we don't have to meet at 11 if there's a better time. I mean, it works for me because it's lunch hour, so. We'll just kind of be looking for some dates on that on the week of the 10th.
So is that a potential, and I'm not trying to commit, is that a potential to talk about cleanup language or take up another topic?
I would say tentatively, let's kind of push it back to more mid-May to late May, just to give us that time.
So like May 11th?
On the cleanup
On the-
stuff,
so you
just
think
because of
maybe-
the volume?
If y'all want it on May 11th, I
No.
will make it happen.
No, I'm kidding. So May, you want to do 17 or 24th gives you plenty of time.
Yes,
Let's just push to
absolutely.
that. And if you guys get it early, we can slot it
Absolutely.
earlier.
Okay.
But hold the 10th. I'm looking at maybe the 10th or the 14th as a meeting day. I hate to do it on a Friday, but if city council's on Tuesday, Karen's not here on Wednesday. Let's shoot for maybe 10 or 14 and we can make some decisions on Monday.
And sir, just so you know that on the 26th of May and 27th, 28th, I won't be in town.
Courtney, would you note that so we can? All right. And we don't have any minutes to approve for any previous meetings, do we? I didn't see any.
That is correct.
Okay. Anything else to come before our committee? Amy,
I think you have it covered.
Becky, Courtney?
No, sir, we're good. If in the meantime, y'all need anything else from us, feel free to go through me or Abby and we'll get you whatever y'all need for the next meeting.
Okay, so Monday, the 26th, we'll meet here at 11 upstairs, and our topic du jour will be Article 4. Okay, thank you, guys. It is 12:38, and we're adjourned.